keeps us hanging from the end. So we'll keep on starting the fires, thinking we'll smoke out the liars. We don't give up when we're tired. That isn't the way that I'm wired. We own the future. We own the future. Someday, we're gonna rule the world. I know someday we're gonna rule the world. Counting down to explosion. I hear the moment approaching. Someday, we're gonna rule the world. Our blood runs cold like we're reborn. Our eyes light up like a thunderstorm. There are no locked doors anymore. We own the future. We own the future. Whoa, someday, we're gonna rule the world. Someday, we're gonna rule the world. Counting down to explosion. I hear the moment approaching. Someday, we're gonna rule the world.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Shake and Bake Sim TV, as we are here tonight for the penultimate race of the season, and it is one that will determine everything for next week. Round number 4 of the Shake and Bake playoffs, and the final round of the finale 8, it's elimination night here at Martinsville for the Xfinity 250 laps around Martinsville Speedway. Stage 1 will end at lap 60, stage 2 at lap 120, and it will all be at stake here for these playoff drivers. Jaden Newson, with his win last week at the Charlotte Roval, secured his spot into the Championship 4. Now there's just 3 spots to secure here tonight, and 4 that can only do so. Davin Thornhill, Harold Wilson, Charlie Jones, and Carter Brockmeyer, all fighting for those 3 spots. 4 drivers, 3 will advance to the championship race next week. One's journey will unfortunately come to an end. As for the other 3 playoff drivers, Gino Zito, Carter Roy, and Stefan Wagner, unfortunately their journey ended last week at the Roval. So we will see how this turns the tables, how this goes into effect for the championship race next week, where we will crown our Season 2 Shake and Bake champion. But for now, it's time for elimination night here at Martinsville. Stakes are very, very high as the drivers now begin to finish up qualifying. Jaden Newson with pole position on the board, the one that's already locked in, getting ready to start this race from the front row. here we go, getting ready to settle in here. Here's your starting lineup. Your starting grid for your Xfinity 250, the final race before we crown a champion at Homestead. Jaden Newson on pole position once again. Already locked himself into the championship race like we said, so he is just basically going to be racing here to see who his other 3 opponents will be next week. Tony Brewer right aside him in the first row. And then it's Harold Wilson, Carter Brockmeyer, Gino Zito, Charlie Jones, Keith Williams, Davin Thornhill, Christopher Barries, and Kyle Hendershot to round off the grid. You can imagine what these current playoff drivers are currently going through, what they are experiencing. As here we go, getting ready to go underway. So who out of all the playoff drivers has the most pressure right now? Well, it's undoubtedly going to be this man right here, Carter Brockmeyer. He is 11 points below the cut line, below Charlie Jones. He has to overcome that 11-point
Black
deficit.
clears. Join black clears.
He has to overcome that 11-point deficit to make it into the championship
Black
race.
flag cleared. Oh,
next
thank you. Never
week.
mind. My bad.
But here we go. Time to shake it before you bake it for the second to last time here in Season 2. A lot at stake here for those 4 drivers that are looking for their spots. And it is a short track, so you can expect a ton of cautions here as well, as we are ready to go
Man, they held
green
me in my pit
into
box.
Martinsville.
I think that's going to put me a
And it's
lap
green
down.
flag.
Man, that going down pit lane is the stupidest shit.
Looks like there was some issues there with Davin Thornhill on pit lane. But other than that, everyone with a pretty good start so far. Newson obviously goes right away as Gino Zito spins. Manages to save it though. And we stay green on the opening lap, or maybe not. What has happened there? Everyone's still going. So we do keep it green so far. And again, just like Bristol, a very tight and short track, not a lot of space here, so you can expect plenty of cautions, plenty of incidents. And the drivers know that. We had a meeting before this, and they were expecting the same thing.
When I stopped in my box, they held me for that 40-second black flag. Now I'm about to be a lap down.
Keith Williams gets past Harold Wilson. Into the top 3 he goes. Williams trying to redeem himself from 2 weeks ago at Talladega, where he just lost out the race win in his debut against Gino Zito. Tony Brewer currently in second, another one trying to avenge himself. Won his debut at Dover. Got a win snatched away at Darlington by Thornhill. And a win snatched away just last week by Jaden Newson. 2 wins that were snatched away in very unfortunate ways. And now Tony Brewer is going to try to climb up the ranks and get his second win in the Shake and Bake Racing League. He is currently the driver with the most amount of points that is not in the playoffs. So he has done a very excellent job as Davin Thornhill there with the pit issues under the yellow flag due to iRacing's shenanigans, of course. Newson approaching him, so he might be going a lap down here. We shall see. Harold Wilson and Davin Thornhill, not as much pressure as the other two. But of course, you still need a pretty decent scoring here to ensure that spot next week. The pressure mainly is on the other two here, Carter Brockmeyer and Charlie Jones. Jones, 11 points above the cut line. Brockmeyer, 11 points below the cut line. The pressure is surely on them. Jones has to keep Brockmeyer at bay. Brockmeyer in a near must-win situation. And a lot can happen at this tiny track, as there goes Jaden Newson past Davin Thornhill here, as Thornhill will go a lap down, and Brewer and Williams looking to follow through. Oh, a little bit of contact. 3 wide out of turn 4, and Heath Williams gets past Tony Brewer. Thornhill caused some lap traffic there, and Williams took the opportunity to get past Brewer there. Heath Williams now in a P2 as he hunts down the other team's Ford of Jaden Newson, Heath Williams and Christopher Barries in the number 1 and a 91 respectively, the Fords of Jet Lucky Motorsports. The brand new team that made their debut 2 weeks ago at Talladega. As there goes Hendershot all the way up on the outside wall, as again it's going to cause some lap traffic. Williams barely scrapes the wall there, but not a ton of issues as he will keep it going. And these drivers back here were involved in a little bit of an incident at the beginning, but they have kept it going. And we have stayed green. So far, so good. But with tracks like this, it's only a matter of time before you can really expect something to happen, which hopefully isn't the case. Bristol this season was a very, very exciting race, so we will see now. Time will tell what Martinsville has in store for us. As Williams slowly but surely closing in the gap between him and Jaden Newson. And the gap is no longer existing. Now the question is, how does he make that pass? Where can he make that pass? Not necessarily the easiest track to overtake on. So we'll see Heath here get very, very creative. Oh, had to put the brakes there. There's Charlie Jones. Charlie knows what's at stake here. Had Chris Safewright drive for him last week at the Roval, and Safewright put him in a comfortable spot with a P4 finish. Now it's all up to Charlie Jones himself to give that final push in the number 3 Chevy to put that car all the way to the championship race. As unfortunately he will lose out there to Williams and Newson, and he will go a lap down here. As these two continue to tug, Brewer now past Jones. Here we go, here might be the move. Williams on turn 1 to the inside of Newson. Does he have the move done? Not clear yet, still side by side going to the backstretch. And now he's got him cleared. Little bump there by Newson, and Heath Williams goes to the race lead for the first time. Brilliant move. He saw the opportunity, he saw the window open, and he will gladly take that opportunity and make it count. How about this fight in the back between the 4 still eligible championship 4 drivers? Carter Brockmeyer in front, followed by Harold Wilson, Charlie Jones, and Davin Thornhill. So Brockmeyer, who's the one that very much needs the points, currently in the best spot that he could possibly get when it comes to his other playoff opponents. As Brockmeyer will hunt down Thornhill here to put him a lap down. Thornhill suffered again that incident in pit road. Hopefully he can make up for it, as the stage will soon be 30 laps to go until the end of stage 1, unless of course a caution occurs here. Let's take a look back at the leading pack of this race. And the gap has increased. Heath Williams puts a second gap between him and Jaden Newson in second. And now Tony Brewer trying to close that second gap between him and Newson. There's Christopher Barries in the 91 for Jet Lucky Motorsports. Gino Zito behind him. Great performances that Gino has had. Unfortunately, even with his win at Talladega, it won't be enough to put him into the championship race. but he still has to be very, very happy with his performance that he has given this season. As Brockmeyer gets past Davin Thornhill, and Thornhill will now be a lap down to Brockmeyer himself. As Harold Wilson trying to catch up to Brockmeyer here. Kyle Hendershot, though, making it a slight hindrance as Wilson will take that spot out of turn 2 as Hendershot goes wide. And a free spot for Harold Wilson as he tries to catch Brockmeyer here. Charlie Jones cannot let himself go a lap down to Brockmeyer. The 62 is the man to beat for the number 3. As Charlie has been trying to accomplish one of the biggest underdog stories that you have ever seen, and we shall see how that underdog story will either end or continue as Brockmeyer is approaching quickly. And he's not that far away anymore. That might be the move right there. Almost there, Brockmeyer. "16 laps to go on stage 1. There's the move. Jones goes wide, takes the outside lane, and Brockmeyer secures the inside in turn 2 to overcome the number 3. And a big mistake by Charlie Jones there. And Brockmeyer will go and put Charlie Jones a lap behind. Meanwhile, Williams, the gap even further beyond, as it's now 2 seconds. But it's a whole different story now for second place. Tony Brewer now faces off against his teammate. And again, where can Tony try and make the move? It looked like he was trying to go for it there, but Newson will deny that request, and Brewer will have to try again. And Brewer, if he can stay with the 78 here, he might have a great run going into turn 3. Still not enough. And officially 10 laps to go on stage 1. And just trying to get that inside, but just not able to fully get his nose there, and Newson closes it off last second. As Jaden is trying anything and everything he can to keep that second spot secured into the end of stage 1. There was a little bump there by Tony, trying to give him just a little shove. It's Charlie Jones trying to not go another lap down here. The free Lucky Dog pass can only be up to 1, and still, if that was the case, Thornhill, his own teammate, is still unfortunately ahead, as there goes Newson, and there goes Brewer. 6 to go on stage 1. Can Tony capitalize on that move? Jaden is playing it very well defensively. And if you're Jaden right now, you're spending most of your time not even looking forward. You're trying to spend most of your time looking at those mirrors, trying to block off Brewer from moving forward. So far, he's doing a great job at it, but let's see here. Brewer has the inside now. Newson has to go high. And they're side by side going into turn 1. Tony Brewer, can he finally make the move stick? Yes, he will. With 3 laps to go on the stage, Tony Brewer past Newson, but Jaden's not done fighting yet. Still side by side. Slight contact. 2 to go. Thornhill make it 3 wide out of turn 2. Final lap of stage 1. Heath Williams in a very comfortable position, as we see the fight here for P2, but it will be Heath Williams who takes stage number 1. Brewer keeps Newson at bay and will take the second spot at the end of the stage. Wow.
So, Dwayne, am I going to get my lap back from that stuff during the pace lap? I'm 1 extra lap down than I should be. I think I should be 2 laps down.
Great racing action so far. Heath Williams will be the one to take the stage.
Can y'all clear flags, please?
We'll be right back as we put in the results for stage 1.
So I should be back on the lead lap, right, Dwayne? No, not my second one, just that first one. Should I go ahead and go? I appreciate it, bro.
Alrighty. Here we go as we get ready to kick off stage number 2. Keith Williams is your stage 1 winner. He will lead the pack back to the green flag. It's Newson right beside him, followed by Brewer, Brockmeyer, Thornhill, who is now back on the lead lap, Baris, Zito, Harold Wilson, Charlie Jones, and Hendershot in the back as we go. Green flag once again at Martinsville. Oh, and there's Havoc in the back. Caution will immediately come out. And
Black
that
clears,
is
please.
Charlie Jones. On the restart, it looked like it was contact with Christopher Baris. Let's take a look at the replay. This is the view from Charlie Jones. My goodness. There's Jones. Right beside him is the 91 of Baris. Oh, and it's just a domino effect. Checked up, got rear-ended just a tiny bit by Gino Zito, which caused him to rear-end Charlie Jones. And that will be our first incident caution of the night. However, that's going to turn out to be pretty good for Charlie Jones. Jones is now going to get the free pass here. So he is going to recover at least one lap of his 2 that he's currently down. So here we go. Time to pick your lines. Williams stays on the inside. Newson on the high line. As we will try this once again. Keith Williams still in the lead of this race. Here we go to try Our second attempt at the start of stage 2, and it is green flag back at Martinsville. Better than the last, and Williams immediately has 2 Fords attacking him. Oh, and there's contact in the back as well. It's Christopher Barries this time. Everyone getting too eager on the start. And a caution will come out for the 91. Let's try and take a look at that replay.
Wonder.
Unsure what happened there. Oh, it was a 3 wide Thornhill, Zito, and Barries. And it does look like some type of netcode. As you can see Barries blinking quite a lot. So that might have been the reason for that contact. So second incident caution comes out. So far it is 2 non-playoff drivers at the front of this race. Williams goes and stays on the inside. Brewer goes to the inside, and Newson will take the position on the outside. It is gonna be a lot of strategy involved in this one. Well, third caution of the night. Let's go and try this again and see if everyone doesn't go as hectic here on the restart, as here we go on the restart zone, and it's green flag back at Martinsville. As everyone trying to get through. And they do on turn 1 and 2. Brewer side by side with Jaden Newson. Brewer stays ahead. Brockmeyer the 4th, Gino 5th. Voorhees, Thornhill, and Wilson. Davin Thornhill got past Harold Wilson. Charlie Jones is still a lap down, but thankfully it's now just 1 lap instead of 2. As Brockmeyer tries to slowly climb up the ranks, as he desperately needs them to stay alive in this championship. Keith Williams, what a lap time. 19.16. He sets the fastest lap of the race with that time. And an incredible performance so far by the number 1. There's a little race recap for you at the bottom right. Currently lap 83 of 250. Heath Williams is your race leader. 3 cautions for 14 laps. There's only been a single lead change, and that's been between Jaden Newson and Heath Williams. As Gina goes Looked like he went a little wide there. Looked like Barrios was trying to capitalize, but he will stay behind the 11 as there is a little scraping of the wall there by Charlie Jones. And Brockmeyer now closer than ever than he was at the leaders. As Carter Brockmeyer still looking for his first race win of Season 2. He is a multiple Season 1 race winner. Your Season 1 runner-up in the championship. As let's try and go with the shake and bake, crank it up, presented by Logitech. Take it away as we go on board with the 62 Toyota of Carter Brockmeyer. Brockmeyer slowly starting to see those cars up front fade away. Trying to push that car to its absolute limit. As Harold Wilson passes Davin Thornhill here. Of course, gotta pay attention to those key playoff drivers that are fighting for the 3 spots of the championship 4. And out of all of them, Brockmeyer is currently ahead. Unknown or unsure if the race would end right now, if he would have enough points to overcome Charlie Jones. But only time will tell. the gap is just slowly increasing now. But Heath Williams is gone. 3-second gap between him and Jaden Newson. There is Charlie Jones trying to push that number 3 to its absolute limits. After the results of stage 1, the difference has gone from 11 points to 8 points. So Brockmeyer is closing in. Jones has to do whatever it takes to stay alive. And Barry's to the inside of Brockmeyer. Carter may have some other issues at task right now, and Barry's gets through. Brockmeyer pulls the switcheroo out of turn 4, but it won't be enough to clear him, and Christopher Barry's gets past. Almost had the switcheroo done, but it won't be enough, and Brockmeyer will fall to 5th. Oh, that would have been an incredible move if he pulled it off. But what a great attack there by the 91. And so far, Jet Lucky Motorsports making a statement. Barry's in P4, Heath Williams with a dominant performance so far in the race lead. As we approach 15 laps to go here on stage 2. Gino Zito also doing a very decent performance as he currently sits in 6th. Harold Wilson, Thornhill, and Jones struggling a little bit to find their pace. And this racetrack might just be what Brockmeyer needed all along to overcome that point difference. As Gino Zito will now be behind him. Bottom split bandit teammates. But Gino will just swoop past the inside. Looking to take a top 5 spot here. Still side by side, a little bit of loose there for Brockmeyer. Enter turn 1. Out of turn 2, and Gino Zito will take a top 5 spot away. And that is 2 positions lost for Brockmeyer in the span of 3 laps. But luckily for him, the gap between him and Harold Wilson is about 4 seconds. So he should be pretty good so far. As let's take a look here back at the front. Tony Brewer getting past Charlie Jones now. As it looks like Kyle Hendershot in the 64 Ford for Common Motorsports is out of this race. 64 just struggled to find their pace, and unfortunately that will be the end of the night for them. And look at that, Williams extending the gap to now almost 5 seconds. He had his win snatched away at Talladega, but just inches, and he's gonna make sure that that doesn't happen again. As Brewer trying to fight here with his teammate, trying to go all the way to Jaden Newson, who is just a second up front. 6 to go on stage 2. It has been pretty calm so far. Not a ton of movement, but we have seen some. It's gonna be interesting to see how this final stage will play out. There is Harold Wilson, Thornhill right behind. There's Heath Williams trying to put them a lap down. Three laps to go on stage 2. As Williams trying to chase down Thornhill here. This would be another lap down for Thornhill. Hold on. The ticker just broke. The ticker just broke. Hold on. I'll try to get this back on as quickly as possible. But that will do it. There we go. Hopefully that should fix the issue. As the caution will come out, and it is once again a very dominant stage win for Heath Williams. We'll be right back as we try to fix this very quickly. There we go, got it fixed. Unsure what happened there, but my goodness.
Can I get that black clear or no?
Charlie needs black clear.
Alrighty, here we go. Heath Williams, the stage 1 and 2 winner. Here we go as we get ready to kick off the final stage. How will this turn out? We are going to find out. Green flag to kick off the final stage here at Martinsville. It is 3 wide into turn 1 and 2. Newson still side by side with Heath Williams. Williams not giving the position easy just yet. Still there.
Can I get that black flag clear or no?
Oh, and it's caution. Caution is out. Contact between Heath Williams and Jaden Newson. The race leaders collide. And it is drama to kick off the final stage. My
Dwayne
goodness.
Charlie's is glitched out with the order, and he's still got a black flag. Yeah, I saw it come up on the screen. It cleared it, but it didn't clear it for him. That's crazy.
I should be good to go now.
There's contact between the race leaders. Let's take a look here at the replay. And that is just hard racing at its finest. Oh, Williams just gets loose. And unfortunately, nothing he could do there. Just comes up and collects the 78 of Jaden Newson.
My voice is good no matter what. Three angels singing.
As here we go. Christopher Barries is your new race leader. It's gonna be the two Fords of Jet Lucky Motorsports side by side going into the restart. My goodness, what a 3 wide start that was. But here we go. Here we go as we begin to choose our lines. Barries goes high, Williams will go low. They will be side by side. Here we go. First restart of the final stage. Christopher Barries leads the pack to the green flag, and we're back racing here at Martinsville. The two Jet Lucky Motorsport Fords side by side. Heath Williams quickly goes to the race lead, and Tony Brewer trying to capitalize against Heath Williams' teammate. And they're still not quite clear. And now they are. Barries ahead of Brewer. What a move by Newson in the back. And Brewer almost lost the possession to Brockmeyer. It's an all-out fight at the start. Oh, contact! Newson and Brockmeyer. It looks like Harold Wilson tried to go 3 wide there to sneak through the middle. But Wilson will pass through. So does Thornhill. And now Brockmeyer went from one of the key playoff drivers that was all the way up the front to now behind two of them. And Jet Lucky Motorsports has quickly taken control of this race. It is 3 non-playoff drivers currently beating out the 6 playoff drivers that are present. If you're just tuning in into Shake and Bake Sim TV, welcome to the second to last round of Season 2. The Xfinity 250 here from Martinsville. It's elimination night, as we are still looking for 3 spots to fill the championship for the championship race next week at Homestead, where we will crown our Shake and Bake champion of Season 2. Jaden Newson, out of the 6 playoff drivers, Jaden Newson already locked into the championship 4. Gino Zito, unfortunately, already out of the championship 4. It will come down to the other 4. Harold Wilson, Davin Thornhill, Charlie Jones, and Carter Brockmeyer fighting for those spots. 3 will enter. 1's journey will unfortunately come to a close. As there is Jaden Newson trying to get past Tony Brewer. And after the scoring, as I'm taking a look here at the live point chart, as Gino Zito, big slide at the front stretch there out of turn 4. As I'm looking here at the points chart, the difference between Charlie Jones and Carter Brockmeyer is just 5 points now. 5 points. Brockmeyer needs at least a top 3 here or a top 5. We will see how this goes. Yeah, Brockmeyer needs a top 3 here. He needs a podium spot if he wants to compete for a championship trophy next week. So 130 laps all the way to the checkered flag. This is where we will see the strategy really come into play for these drivers. Williams and Barry's in control of this race. Brewer and Newson follow behind. It's Wilson, Thornhill, and Brockmeyer. Gino Zito a lap down. Charlie Jones 3 laps down. and everyone will quickly get settled in here, and we are pretty calmly in single file now. As let's try and go here on board with the 78 of Jaden Newsom with the Shake and Bake Crank It Up, presented by Logitech. Take it away. We have ourselves here an interesting fight for that second spot. Tony Brewer there. Oh, what has happened there? Christopher Barries quickly loses it. Tony Brewer is through. Jaden Newsom is through. Barries falls down to fourth. We stay green. But Heath Williams is already long gone. It's a 4-second gap. Heath Williams also still with the fastest lap of the race with that previous 19.16. He is in store right now for almost a clean sweep with everything but the pole position point, which went to Jaden Newsom. As Barries will try to quickly make his way back. Things have settled quite a lot here. Harold Wilson in a P5. Thornhill and Brockmeyer still behind. Brockmeyer, as of right now, would miss out as we take a look here at the live points. Unfortunately, I cannot put this on the screen because there is no way for me to put it, but as of right now, buy out the life points, Carter Brockmeyer would miss out at the championship 4 by 3 points. So he really needs a top 3 to be able to get in there. The current point deficit is 5 points between him and Jones. As for Thornhill and Wilson, they are pretty much secured. As Newson gets past Charlie Jones. And Boris will now have Jones as an obstacle. To the inside of the number 3, and Boris will get past Charlie Jones, as Jones will go yet again another lap down. He is 4 laps down. So Jones really has to beg that Brockmeyer does not make it into the top 3 spot. Brockmeyer reaches P4, it would be on tie on points. Which, if I'm not mistaken, the tiebreaker would go to Brockmeyer actually. So he needs to wish for Brockmeyer to stay out of the top 4 here. As you can now tell how pretty easily things have calmed down. However, is that tire wear enough? Is that fuel enough to go all the distance for these drivers? No more stage breaks, no more chances to pit under yellow unless a caution comes out, which is right now looking very unlikely. So will these cars go the distance, or will the drivers have to go and come into pit road under the green flag is the question right now. And Heath Williams just increasing the gap. He is now 5 seconds ahead of Tony Brewer, as Brewer is trying to get Brockmeyer a lap down here, and this is greatly gonna benefit. This is greatly gonna benefit Charlie Jones. Brewer to the inside, pulls the switcheroo, and he puts Brockmeyer a lap down on his end. Brockmeyer looked like he tried to defend, or just took the turn wrong and just stalled there. But Brewer saw the opening and will gladly take it, as Brockmeyer is now slowly fading. He's losing valuable positions here. And Christopher Barries is right behind him. He has to reach that 91, make all the way a lap around and reach that 91 to make it to the championship round. But Newson is going to get through now. Oh, a little bit of contact. And now Barries will go through, and he might take Jaden Newson with him. To the inside on turn 3, the 91 trying to get into the podium spot. Brockmeyer is now a lap down from the P4 position. And Barries will take the top 3 spot. Unless Newson can pull a switcheroo here. No, he will not. Christopher into the top 3. What a move. What a race so far for him and Jet Lucky Motorsports. And if you're Brockmeyer, you must feel the frustration starting to settle in now. Keith Williams, that's going to be lap 68. If the race recap looks wrong, that's because it unfortunately is. We've had about 5 cautions for about 20 laps or so. 3 lead changes. Jaden Newson, Keith Williams, and Christopher Barries. Oh, and the caution is out. And speaking about him, it looks like it's Christopher Barries who caused the caution. What has happened there? And it looks like it is Barries. Harold Wilson goes through in a P4. And everyone's going to take a trip now down pit lane. Oh, and that might be some penalties given there. There they cut through the orange box. Yeah, Barries cuts through. Brockmeyer also cuts through. And that will be an end-of-line penalty as Thornhill now cuts through. So let's take a look at the replay before we take over those penalties. Here is the replay. Oh, Newson, a tap on Baris. And that is what causes the caution. Thankfully, no damage on that 91. But that is what causes the caution. As we are getting ready to go back, green flag back at Martinsville. And there were 3 penalties gifted to Brockmeyer, Thornhill, and Baris for cutting the commitment box on pit entry. Oh, and a big one! Heath Williams is around. So is Gino Zito, and another caution will come out, and it's the race leader this time by.
Hey Dwayne, I should have the lucky dog, and it's not giving me the option.
So let's take a look at that replay. My goodness. Here is this caution. At the restart, Gino Zito loses it. And that is just one end of the story. As Heath Williams, that does look like netcode. Thornhill, I believe, is also involved. Just a very unfortunate situation. Let's see, did Gino Zito cut through the commitment box? Let's take a look here. He did not. Here we go. How the tables have turned with that caution. Harold Wilson is now all the way at the front row, and it's green flag back at Martinsville. Hopefully, it's a much better restart for everyone here. As Harold Wilson will quickly get shoved on the outside. Baris is through in the third. Now Thornhill is through in the fourth. And Wilson is losing a ton of positions in the high line. Baris now trying to go for P2. Almost contact with Jaden Newson. And now there is some contact.
It's for the line shit. Pass under the yellow. I didn't do anything. Black flag clear, please.
Oh, and contact. Caution is out. Once again, there you saw the contact between Christopher Baris there. And it is havoc in the second stage of this final stage. Who goes through? Baris is through. Did they enter pit road safely though? No. Thornhill cuts through it. Baris barely misses it. Wow. Just unbelievable how this has turned out. This final stage. And there is still about 45 laps remaining in this race. So here we go. As we're getting ready to pick our lines, and this is going to be a very crucial moment. Everyone is going for that inside line. Brockmeyer quickly sees it, switches to the outside just before the start-finish line. And that is a very, very key track position for Carter Brockmeyer right now.
Make sure you clear flags after. I don't know if you guys have been doing that, but last time you didn't, and it was like that.
Here we go. It is green flag once again. Tony Brewer in the lead of this race. Carter Brockmeyer drops down to third. He needs to be in fourth. And caution is thrown out once again. This time it's Gino Zito all the way in the back.
What does that mean?
Here is the replay. Gino Zito just loses it going into the backstretch.
Okay, so just so I'm understanding clear, if there's like a 10-car pileup on that first lap that hasn't, been a full lap yet, then you're not going to throw the caution?
So here we go. This is going to be a very key thing for Harold Wilson here. He took the outside lane, and very good track position for him. It's Tony Brewer and Harold Wilson, Jaden Newson and Thornhill, Gino Zito and Heath Williams, Brockmeyer, Boris and Jones in the back on the inside lane. Let's try this one more time. This is going to be the 4th restart in a row here in the final stage. Brewer will lead the pack back to the green flag, and we're racing once again at Martinsville. Everyone needs to be very cautious here. Brockmeyer is in 4th.
Clear flag, please.
Brewer, Newson, Heath Williams back into 3rd. It's a fight for the race lead. Newson into the outside wall. Williams will capitalize on it. Here comes Brockmeyer down the inside. The deep lunge trying to make it stick. Still side by side with Jaden Newson. Newson pulls the switcheroo, and Brockmeyer will lose a ton of positions there. Boris now past Harold Wilson for 4th, and there's contact, and another one goes around. It is contact all over the racetrack. A ton of aggressive driving. Carter Brockmeyer contact with Newson after he was in 3rd and was in a very good spot to make it into the championship 4. And now contact once again. It's Boris and Harold Wilson once again, and everyone will come into pit lane. Let's take a look how that went. Looks like everyone went there pretty smoothly. The question is, are they all below the commitment box? This is a very crucial moment. Tony is through. Heath Williams is through. Jaden Newson is through. Brockmeyer very clearly through. And Thornhill is also through. No commitment box infringements there. And just like that, with that havoc, we have a new race leader. Harold Wilson is gonna take over this race here at Martinsville. What a chaotic turn of events it has been here in this final stage. We're going to be restarting this race with 32 laps to go. Wow. Well, let's try this again. Harold Wilson and Christopher Bari side by side. Harold, in the lead of this race for the first time, will lead us back to the green flag, and we're green. Oh, and they're immediately contact behind. Caution will come out. caution comes out. Jaden Newson is the one that's involved in it, and he will receive an end of line for that. Here is the replay. Oh, just doesn't go. Hits the
That was
back
for
of
sure yellow. Are you
Thornhill
colorblind?
and loses it.
Yo, Brockmeyer, bro.
We're gonna try this again. What a chaotic final stage it has been. And where there weren't many incidents in stage 1 and 2, it all exploded here in the final stage. Of course, a lot at stake here. Everyone is quick and ready to get the foot on the gas. And unfortunately, it has led to tons of incidents, tons of damage on those cars, tons of drivers having to use their fast repair. It will be Harold Wilson still in the lead of this race going to the restart. Tony Brewer beside him. Then it's the Jet Lucky Motorsports pair, Heath Williams and Baris. Brockmeyer behind with Thornhill, Newson, and Jones. And Gino right beside Brockmeyer. Green flag back at Martinsville. Brockmeyer falls back to 6th. And this time, saved. Wow! What a save by Tony Brewer. Unbelievable. Tony Blake Brewer with an insane save. And Heath Williams trying to go for the race lead here. A ton of movement. You see a ton of movement there. Baris, a ton of movement. Brewer, a ton of movement. Williams trying to get out of the way. Thornhill's trying to save it. And he won't be able to. That will be a caution out. Charlie Jones also involved in it. The two VBA teammates with big damage on them. And Charlie Jones has to jump into pit road. He has the meatball flag showed to him. Oh, that might be. Did Jaden come across the commitment box there? Oh, I think he is clear. Both sides are fully down below. Just a pair clear pit entry there for Jaden Newson. Oh my. So we are gonna restart this race with 20 laps to go. And here we go, moment of truth again. Very decisive moment. Time to pick your lanes. Wilson inside, Williams and Baris, Gino, Brockmeyer, and Brewer to the outside, Thornhill inside, and Newson outside. Charlie Jones has a ton of damage, and I think he might be out of this
Make sure we
race.
clear flags after the restart.
Brockmeyer is currently in third. Remember, Jones needs to hope that Brockmeyer goes out of that top 4. Here we go. 20 laps to go. It's green flag. And Martinsville once again. It's 3 wide. Williams, Cito, Wilson, and of course, there will be contact. Christopher Baris involved in it. It is 3 wide going into turn 3. Wow. Baris will enter pit lane once again. He is clear. Keith Williams back in the lead of this race.
Gino, man, what are you doing?
Oh, and there's contact in the back. Wow, just unbelievable. So we're gonna restart this with 15 laps to go now. Keith Williams back in the race lead like he wanted to be. Gino Zito's gonna be behind him. Harold Wilson's still there. Carter Brockmeyer is still gonna be inside the top 4. Let's try and quickly review that. There, Carter Brockmeyer switched the lane. Nah, he did intend to go to the outside line just before the start-finish line. You saw that movement there by the 62 car. Here we go. Let's see how many times we have to say this once again. It's green flag back at Martinsville. 15 laps to go. Brockmeyer and Zito side by side. Brockmeyer hard into the outside wall out of turn 2. And contact. And all around once again. Brewer around but saved it. Newson around. And a caution is thrown. So now you have to wonder how many more tries will we have to go into a full 1 lap of green flag here. Jaden Newson cleanly enters pit lane to fix that damage up. Keith Williams stays in the lead. Gino Zito, Brockmeyer, Wilson, Barries, Brewer, Thornhill, Newson in pit road. And Charlie Jones is just continuing to get free passes here. I can't remember what other track it was where we had a ton of chaos, but this is looking to beat it so far. Martinsville, the final stage of Martinsville here, looking very, very chaotic and hectic. As Brockmeyer once again, last move to go into the outside lane just before the start-finish line. Here we go. Keith Williams on the restart. It looks like the caution will be aborted here. So here we go. Now we're gonna go one to green. Here we go. Restarting this race with 10 laps to go. It is green flag back at
Stop
Martinsville.
that, dude.
Frustration starting to settle in. Williams quickly goes to the race lead. And once again, it's Christopher Barries in the back. Brewer involved. Tony Brewer, Christopher Barries. Once again, other drivers involved in it. And another caution will come out. Tony Brewer straight into pit road like that. And Tony Brewer might be out of this race. He was at the front for so long, but unfortunately the day will end like that for Tony Blake Brewer. He is out of this race. So that is the second DNF of the night versus Kyle Hendershot. Now Tony Brewer. And it is a shame to see that number 12 retired the car after he was doing so well, and all these cautions. More damage on that 12 that he could repair. And that will be the end for the number 12 tonight. We're restarting this with 5 laps to go. A caution after this will be shake and bake overtime. It is now or never. Keith Williams and Christopher Barries, the Jet Lucky Motorsports pair, will go side by side And we're back to green. Brockmeyer, contact. No caution called. The grace period is in place. And now that the full lap has been completed, four laps to go. Now 3. Finally out of that caution jam. And this is gonna be a final fight all the way to the checkered flag.
That was close.
Caution is out. Caution is out right before the white flag, and it is Harold Wilson. And ladies and gentlemen, this is shake and bake overtime. What a chaotic display this final stage has been. But this race is gonna go into overtime for the first time here. Let's see, did Brockmeyer enter pit road cleanly? Yes, he did. Harold Wilson also did. Whoop, after all that chaos, who's ready to end this with some good shake and bake overtime action? The shake and bake overtime is presented to you by ASL Contractors, celebrating their 50 years in Canada racing. The only NASCAR diecast contributor in Canada. As we're getting ready to get this overtime started. A green-white checker, Heath Williams still in the lead. And lucky for him, behind him is his teammate, Jaden Newson in third, Gino Zito fourth, Thornhill, Brockmeyer, Wilson, Jones. Carter Brockmeyer has to hope for a miracle. He needs to put up 2 positions here to get into 4th and into the championship 4. How will this play out? Well, here we go. Will we see the white flag this time by? It's time to find out. Here we go.
Bev, let's go.
Heath Williams to the restart zone for potentially the final time. And it's green flag. Side by side into turn 1. Barries moves Newson over. Oh, and caution comes out. Davin Thornhill in the back. And this will call for another shot of overtime to be in play. Davin Thornhill wreckage in the back. Brockmeyer moved up 1 position, now in 5th. Here is the replay of Thornhill's incident. Got lost up high. And you can already see there halfway through turn 2, that car starting to get loose. Oh boy. Comment down below, those in the chat, who do you think is gonna come out of Martinsville victorious? This is our second shot of overtime. It's 3 shots maximum. If a caution comes out here, we're gonna go to our final shot of overtime. If a caution comes out before the white flag on the third and final shot, the race will end under the yellow flag. Here we go. Brockmeyer in the second row. Second shot of overtime is underway. Will we see the white flag this time by? A battle for second. And it looks like we will see it this time by. White flag presented by Celsius. Brockmeyer lost a ton of positions there, and that might be over for the 62. He's over and he's around. Heath Williams was denied at Talladega. He won't be denied today. Heath Williams wins it at Martinsville. Christopher Barries comes home in second for a 1-2 for Jet Lucky Motorsports. Gino Cito rounds off the podium third. Brockmeyer on the final lap wipes out, and our championship 4 is set. Harold Wilson, Davin Thornhill, and Charlie Jones, welcome to the championship 4. And as for Heath Williams, a deserving, dominant victory for him.
I'll remember that one next week, Mini B.
What a victory. Jet Lucky Motorsports is gonna heavily celebrate that one. A 1-2 finish for the Jet Lucky pair. Dominant performance by Heath Williams. What a finale, what a finish that was. And Heath Williams, on top of that, he will also get the fastest lap of the race. Wow. Unbelievable performance. Let's get these stage points up here, set up. Give us a moment as I'm finishing up putting in the scores here. Oh my goodness. Well, after what was a chaotic finish there at Martinsville, there are your race results. Keith Williams with a deserving dominant win at Martinsville. He wasn't denied at Talladega. He will not be denied tonight. Christopher Barries, a 1-2 finish for the Jet Lucky Motorsports pair. Gino Zito in third, Harold Wilson, Jaden Newson, Davin Thornhill, Carter Brockmeyer on the final lap with a heart-crushing P7, and it's Charlie Jones in 8, Tony Brewer in 9, Kyle Hendershot in 10, both with the DNF. And here is your championship standings after the events. There we go. Let's see if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure Brockmeyer may or may not be in. Let's see if this is correct real quick. Oh boy. Let's see. Let me actually give me a minute, guys. I need to quickly update this to see if this is correct or not. There we go. Everything should be fixed now. My goodness. Carter Brockmeyer unfortunately does not get the top 4. Charlie Jones is in the championship 4. Let's start the post-race interviews after that chaotic final stage. My goodness. First up, oh boy, let's bring up here your race winner, Heath Williams. What a dominant race. Oh boy, let's get him up here. Hello, Heath, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
There you go. Heath, you led the race basically the entire time, and after the chaos of that final stage, you still managed to come out on top after being denied your race win at Talladega. How does it feel after that whole chaos to get your race win here at Martinsville?
Man, it feels amazing. We didn't qualify too great. We couldn't really put together a good qualifying, but I believe that was every single stage win to finish first, and we got the 1-2 finish for Jet Lucky Motorsports. And that was just honestly, all in all, an amazing performance. Did have some ups and downs in the race, but there's a reason that I'm the number one. So yeah, but I just want to say thank you to our sponsors at Palantir and Lockheed Martin, Coletta Air for bringing us a great number one Ford Mustang, and I want to say thank you to the whole Jet Lucky Motorsports team, and also congratulations to my teammate Chris Voorhees on that 1-2 finish. Just an absolute great day, all in all, for the Jet Lucky Motorsports team, and yeah, first win of the season in the Shake and Bake Racing League, and definitely a chaotic race, but we managed to make it work, and we had a great time.
And of course, like you just said, first win of the Shake and Bake Racing League career for you, and the first race win of Jet Lucky Motorsports is official. How did you find yourself amongst that chaos, still working together and making great teamwork with Christopher Barries to get that 1-2 finish for Jet Lucky Motorsports?
Well, after each incident, we tried to stay out of incidents as much as we could, but sometimes you just can't avoid them. But you gotta keep moving forward. You gotta always keep moving forward. Anything can happen. And we were running good all day, and I knew I could put that number one car, number one Ford Mustang, up there in the front row, and we kept charging as hard as we could to the front, and it paid off for the Jet Lucky team.
Alrighty, is there any shout-outs that you would like to do?
I just want to say shout out to my teammate. Great performance today. I want to say shout out Palantir, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Texas Instruments, Coletta Air, and yeah, I think also to shout out to Ford for bringing us a badass car. So yeah.
Alrighty, thank you very much for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, Heath Williams, your Xfinity 250 race winner here at Martinsville. Congratulations, go celebrate that win, man. Alrighty, let's bring up here Jaden Newson, who will finish inside the top 5 after that final stage chaos. Jaden, you with us?
Yo, can you hear me?
There you go. Jaden, very, very tough race, very chaotic race. It was you, Brewer, and Williams at the front, and after that whole chaos at the final laps there for the 2 overtimes, you end up at the bottom of the top 5, but yet again, you're still locked into the championship 4. What about your thoughts about this race? What do you think about the chaos that ensued back there?
Oh man, well I feel like the first 2 stages were pretty good. I feel like I loaded off the truck as the fastest car, setting the pole, and we were quick in practice. Heath came out of nowhere in the first stage, and Tony was already quick, so they were definitely the ones to beat. And I feel like just as the race progressed, the quality of racing just slowly declined, so there's definitely some contact that I was not proud of myself. But there was definitely more contact that I was not impressed of by others. So Martinsville's a tough track. It's our shortest track other than the LA or the Clash we have. So as to be expected, but I mean it's short track racing.
And of course, You got a top 5 finish here tonight, probably one of the toughest races that all drivers have faced. Now, I gotta ask, what are your plans next week to try and get a successful second shake and bake title to your name?
Well, honestly, since I've known that I've been locked in since last week, I've been focusing more on Homestead and less on Martinsville. I think that I've got some strong competition for sure, but I definitely think that I'm capable of taking home champ number 2.
Alrighty, thank you for your time. Is there any shoutouts that you would like to do?
I'd like to thank my sponsors, Can Racing and ASL. There's a new sponsor announcement coming soon, most likely, so stay tuned for that. I'd like to shout out Jet Lucky Motorsports for their 1-2 finish. Phenomenal drive by Heath, and everybody who's watching.
Alrighty, once again, thank you very much for your time. Wish you the best going into the championship race next week at Homestead.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Alrighty, let's bring up here your P4 finisher, Harold Wilson. Let's bring it up here. Harold, can you hear us?
Yeah,
There
I got you, man.
Harold Wilson, officially welcome to the championship for consistency all the way through, even though obviously not a win just yet, but a strong P4 finish is all you need to get you to that championship race. How do you feel about tonight's performance?
My performance was pretty good. Got ran into the backup a lot there at the end. Under caution, I think I got hit from 3 cars back. But all in all, it was a good night. iRacing gave me a super fast Toyota. I was trying to put it to use.
Alrighty. And of course, next week you have the chance to claim the Shake and Bake Championship. How do you feel about your chances, and what do you think you have to do to get that trophy?
It's gonna suck for the other guys if I win. If I went winless all year, but I'm hoping that's the case. I got a little bit of practice there. Ran good there last season, so we'll see what happens this year.
Alrighty, Harold, is there any shoutouts that you would like to do?
Shout out to my wife and daughter, Steve Walker, Scooby Doo, Will, and everybody else out there.
Alrighty, Harold, thank you very much for your time and wishing you the absolute best going into next week's championship race, where you and the other 3 will be competing for the title.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right, let's get up here. Carter Brockmeyer, who had the final lap incident that will put him in a P7. Carter, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Carter, obviously, devastation is one of the many things that you must be feeling through right now. You were near the P4, which is what you need. I don't know if you were aware that top 4 was what you needed to advance. But unfortunately, on the final lap, obviously, the incident took you out with a P7 finish. And unfortunately, you are out of the championship 4. How do you feel about your performance and your overall result of the season?
I had an easy top 5 car on short runs. Wasn't that good on long runs, so I grabbed 2 tires. Kind of worked on my brake pressure and all that, and I came back out, and I lasted 1 lap up high. The second lap, I was trying just to stick and kind of stay where I was at, and kind of missed turn 1 and 2. And then I feel bad for this part. Charlie came bottom. Someone came top. I didn't see who it was. And I didn't see Charlie yet, so I ran him off the track. Got a slow spin. I felt bad, but you know what? This is my second year I got nipped, but next year I just gotta come back stronger and more prepared.
And of course, even though you won't be competing for a title, you still have all the Toyotas with you at Homestead. Do you think that you will try to work together to help get Harold Wilson that trophy?
Yeah, I'll see. I mean, it just depends. I don't want to ruin someone's Final Four because they're faster than someone else. But I have faith in Gino. He's by far the fastest I know at Miami. Yeah.
Alrighty, well, is there any shout-outs that you would like to do?
Yeah, just everyone in this league. All great. We all rubbed tonight, and some hit under caution. Not gonna name who. And yeah, it's Martinsville. I didn't know really what to expect, but that was well expected. And unfortunately, I got the ass into the stick sometimes, and that's what happened.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much for your time. Wishing you the best next season. Obviously, we'll see how that goes for season 3, but appreciate you for coming up here, and good luck at Homestead.
Thank you.
Alrighty, and it looks like that will be it for the post-race interviews here in Martinsville. What a hectic and a chaotic finish that was to close out the final chapter of the Finale 8. And now it's all gonna be at stake next week. Jaden Newson, Davin Thornhill, Harold Wilson, and Charlie Jones. Your championship 4 is set. And next week is where everything will be determined. Monday night, December 22nd. Tune in for the Season 2 finale, the Shake and Bake Championship race at Homestead Miami Speedway. 4 will enter, only 1 will come out as champion. Points don't matter. Whichever one of those 4 drivers crosses the checkered flag first will be crowned the Season 2 Shake and Bake champion. With that being said, that is all from tonight's Elimination Night at Martinsville. Thank you everyone for tuning in. If you like the content from tonight, make sure to subscribe, like, comment down below, and of course stay tuned for Season 3, which we still don't have an official date, but yeah, should be a doozy. But again, next week, Monday night, mark your calendars. A champion will be crowned. That being said, that will be it for today. My name is Duke Crespo, also known as Vibes on YouTube. Signing off for today. Peace out, everyone, and have a good rest of your night.